This is like literally 2010, 2011. So I emailed him and I said, listen, we don't know when we're coming. We've just applied for a visa. We're just looking. I'm looking to start work when I get to Australia. And he said, well, when you get here, just give me an email. Yeah. So 3 or 4 years later, we got the visa and I sent him an email. He said, really good. He said, when you get here, just give me a ring and come and speak to me.
Yeah.
So I actually come to Australia and I started looking at jobs while I were here. Because I couldn't actually get hold of him. And I got offered a job off this other roofing contractor. And I went and did a half a day work with him. And he said, yeah. He said, you can come and work with me. He said, can you start on Monday? So I said, yeah, I can start Monday. And then over the weekend, Paul actually reached out. He got my message that I sent him. He said, sorry, I've been on holiday.
All right.
Come and see me on Monday. I said, well, I've actually got a job. I start on Monday. He said, no, come and see me on Monday. So I went and seen him on Monday, and it was like he was my best friend. He were going out of his way. He just sat me down, and he's got this happy face glow on his happy face, and he said, yeah, this is what you'll be doing. And I'm thinking, what do you mean this is what I'll be doing? I've not even told you anything yet. And he's pretty much offered me the job on the spot. He didn't know any history of me. I just told him a background story, which could have been fabricated.
Yeah.
But he just gelled, and it turns out, I only found out later, he come to Australia when he was 11.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually English.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that camaraderie.
That's it. I mean,
I think that's all it was. I think it was just a bond that he probably thought was similar to me, starting at a new life. Yeah. And then the crazy thing is, he offered me the job, and then I was telling him about the roof contractor that offered me the job that I was supposed to be starting on that very Monday.
Yeah.
And he said, he's just applied for the job that you've applied for.
All right, that's a strange one.
And I've turned him down for you.
Is that right?
Yeah, so he'd give me a job. I'd have said no to Paul. And then this guy that gave me a job would have let me go probably within a day or two because he was going for my job.
Yeah.
I thought, how uncanny. Out of all the different roofing.
Small world, is it?
Such a small world. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So and that's it. The rest of it, I've been like contracting for Bristol now since I got here.
Yeah, is that right, Mike? It's been the same job.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not employed by them. I'm just a contractor. Yeah. But yeah, they've basically fed me work for the last 6 years.
That's good. No, that's good, mate.
I think like to anyone that's listening that might not be here yet, that are probably thinking about coming. And it might not necessarily be Australia. You could just be listening to this podcast because you're thinking about emigrating to any country.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I think what tends to happen, well, this is my view, but I don't know if Alan agrees, but if you make the effort to actually do it, and once you get to where you're going, for me and the people I've spoken to, everything seems to work out for the best.
Yeah,
and you seem to be far better off. It's as if karma is rewarding you for making the effort and trying to improve your life.
Yeah, I could not agree any stronger, mate. That's exactly what I feel. We got here thinking, if it's not for us, a couple of weeks, who cares? I mean, if it's 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and we decide it's not for us, we'll go back.
Yeah.
It's only time, bit of money. As I say, we wanted to run away from. When we left, we had a really good life, nice family, nice friends. We wanted to run away from, but we thought we'll come here. If it doesn't work out, we'll go back. But it's just time, bit of time, bit of money maybe. But that's it really.
Yeah.
We came here and just exactly you say, it was as if karma was rewarding. That's a really good way to put it, Mark. And again, we kind of blended in first couple of years, genuinely, probably slightly on our own because we wanted to, but a lot to just do with where we lived, the jobs. I mean, Lorna works for herself, works at home, so she's speaking to people all over the world, really. Yeah. So she's not got any Aussies to go in an office with. The office I worked in, full of Aussies,
Yeah.
So and they became friends and then good friends and stuff, and probably like most expats as well, your friends here become your family very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that only happens because you've got that sort of rapport. You just draw. I mean, like you and I. This time year and a half ago, we never knew each other for a bar of soap, really. And now, we go on well, and the more you chat to each other, the more you realise how similar we are.
Yeah.
Probably hence the reason we're here.
Yeah.
We're sitting just having a curry.
Yeah.
So we both like curry.
Yeah, definitely.
Who doesn't?
I mean,
right?
English, Scottish especially.
Who
curry.
doesn't, right? So you think, well, that's fine. You're never going to buy that one as a coincidence. Everybody likes curry. But then you start talking about podcasts and stuff, and you're talking about your entrepreneur stuff with the Amazon. And again, I mean, I'm into all that. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
How you find the time to do it, mate, I don't know.
No,
I mean, even just try to get it sorted tonight, you know. You're just so busy trying to get everything running.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So in between your roofing and looking after the wife and kids, how do you get time? What do you,
well,
do it?
That's when divorces are on front of tongue. Not spending enough time with family is probably...
Especially as an expat coming here, you can, I think the first couple of weeks first probably a year, again, probably why we didn't blend in socially with other expats is because we were so focused on making sure the kids were happy.
Yeah.
You know, they're missing gran and grandpa and back home, my mum and aunties and uncles, and not so much friends because they're all pretty young, but yeah, family particularly was really big. I mean, we've always used either Skype or some kind of form to keep in touch, and which has been absolute lifesaver.
Yeah.
And now we've got like Alexa devices everywhere in the house.
Yeah.
We can talk to Lorna's dad passed away a couple of years back, but her grand's still there. My daughter talks to her every single day.
Yeah.
Lorna talks to her probably every other day. You know, just on Facebook. They just sit there and look at each other on the screen and stuff like that. I mean, it just makes life so much easier. But
I mean, I used to talk. To be honest, the longer we've been here, the less I talk to family. When I first got here, I'd speak to my dad like probably every other day.
Yeah.
But then I think the longer I'm here, and then the more activities I get, I start having less time for family, and I end up doing more time for the things that I want to do for the business. And
that's it,
trying to, and I mean, as far as like Amazon goes and doing the other podcasts, I think it's hard sometimes to try and get a balance. And what I've ended up doing is working less of my day job. So, because my wife works, so I don't need to do 5-day weeks. So like now, if I can, I only do like a 3-day week, which sounds pretty lame, but
that 4 days you're working like a dog.
Yeah. So the other time when I'm not actually doing my day job, then I'm putting like all my kind of energy into trying to get the Amazon business going and fitting in time for like the podcasts, and which is pretty difficult because my other podcasts I'm kind of doing them solo. Doing it with Alan, because this is our first one, it's much easier because you can just have a conversation. Whereas when you're doing a podcast on your own, you've got to basically have a structure from start to finish of what you're going to talk about, because you've no one to bounce off, you've no one to chat to.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully we're going to get a few guests on, I believe, Alan.
Yeah, we've got a few lined up. So I've just been hitting up people on Facebook and stuff like that. Every time I see somebody that sounds interesting, I've been hitting them up, and we're going to hopefully get beginning of January, so a couple of days we'll get a few guys on. So some really interesting people. I mean, I love.
I'm looking. You've told me about a few of the people you're getting on, and I'm really excited.
Yeah,
for them.
I love chatting to people anyway, right? I mean, and I genuinely love hearing people's stories. Right?
Yeah.
And whether it's the same as mine or different from mine, I'm fascinated.
Doesn't matter though, 'cause it's just a connection as well, isn't it?
Connection,
and
I think growing up in Scotland, I mean, I had like loads of older aunts and uncles and stuff like that who never had any kids, so I spent a lot of time hanging around with them, and they would tell all these old farming stories and working stories and stuff, and I would just sit there, just open mouth, listening to all these fantastic stories, and genuinely the person I am was because of those people and that group of people, and just being polite enough, or being told to be polite enough to sit and listen to these guys. This is where you'll learn your who you are, right, and what you should be. And I genuinely did that. And then as I got older, you know, I would sort of gravitate towards a bit older people because, you know, kids. My oldest boy's the same, actually. He's never really enjoyed talking to kids his own age.
Yeah.
Now he does, but when he was younger, he just wanted to hear older people because he had a conversation he could listen to.
Yeah, it shows your maturity as well, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. And I'm not saying I'm mature particularly, but back then I was just always listening to older people telling stories and stuff. And it really develops you and stuff. And probably part of the reason I'm here is because, you know, well, you've listened to all these stories and you think, man, the world is so much bigger than the tiny little village I was in.
Yeah.
And I learned that from people who stayed in just tiny little villages all around about me, my aunts and uncles and stuff. It's like listening to all these guys. And then when I started looking at people, the first one, a lady called Danica Roberts, she posted something on the Scots and Perth webpage, says, you know, her dad was, well, she was looking for a company for her dad, right?
Yeah.
and he's 95, and his wife had died a few months back and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's looking for company for him. No, I don't think he knows, to be fair, the guy. Right?
I'm looking forward to chatting to this guy.
I think he'd be fantastic.
He'd be a legend. Can you imagine the stories he's going to be able to tell?
Exactly. That's what I thought.
And as well, just think when he's telling them stories, it's digitally recorded forever.
Yeah, well, that's right, exactly. That's 100%. And I thought, I'm no contacting her. So I contacted her, says, like, you're looking for your dad, something to do in Rockingham area and stuff, and keep him busy and keep him friendship. I said, can't offer him that. I said, but I would love to listen to his stories, right? I said, my friend and I are starting this podcast, going to air it at the beginning of January. Do you think he'd be interested in coming on, just have a chat? Because I'd love to hear what a 95-year-old guy.
Can you imagine the tales that you can tell?
I mean, the tales he's got. I mean, we're bumming him up here. He might be a really quiet, shy guy.
He might have done nothing.
But exactly, even doing nothing, getting to 95.
Doing it for nothing for 95 years, you've got something to tell.
You've got something. And like, so I'm fascinated to talk to him.
Definitely.
And Danica sounds like a real lovely lady as well. She's really, she said, look, whatever you need to do, if we can't get you to him, we'll do it digitally, and we'll get on Zoom or Skype or something, and we'll figure that out. And I said, yeah, it's great. So we'll speak to her. But yeah, so we've got them. And then I spoke to another guy called Chris Batten. He's at one of the admin for Scotland Perth. He sounds like a real nice guy. He's probably one of the early ones in January.
So he'll have some good stories as well, because if he's monitoring like a Poms in Perth kind of page, he's going to be on the same kind of topics that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So, and again, most of these posts and stuff that I've seen over the last few years, just sounds like a real nice guy. Very down to earth guy. So he's going to come on, and then
I think you've got some comedian guy coming on as well.
Yeah, Alan Anderson's going to come on as well. So he's a Glaswegian comedian, and he's over for the Fringe. So he's going to come on. That'll be interesting.
I think a lot of people actually want to tell the story.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's it. Exactly. So that's. I mean, like you and I, and that's why we're here. We want to tell our story. We want to hear other people's stories. We want to try and help out people as they go. So yeah, I think we've got a good lineup.
So I think we've got some good episodes coming up, haven't we?
We've got a few coming up.
So if you like what you hear, and we've not bored you senseless.
Yeah, I think we could get a few in, mate, and we'll try and get it every week. I think. See if we can get one a week, and depending on who they are, and if anybody's interested in coming on,
if you've got a story, you want to have a chat, you feel confident speaking on air.
Yeah,
just get in contact
and sweat with Mark and I in this little studio we've got set up here, or we can hook you up on either Zoom or Skype or our telephone or whatever. We can get you in, but let's see if we can hear a few people. Hopefully, get a few listeners, mate, and get a few bodies on.
Awesome. Right, it's been good talking to you, Alan.
Good talk to you as well, mate.
Until next time.
Until next time.